I'm Caroline Pennington, your host. Today, we're going to be talking about how time kills all deals when it comes to recruiting and hiring for your organization. I've seen this happen so many times in the thousands of searches I've done over the past 15 years, and I'm here to tell you these mistakes can be avoided. So, we're going to talk through each different scenario that I've seen and then solutions to um, make sure that we don't kill all deals just because of time. So, one of the first scenarios I've seen is companies drag their feet when it comes to acknowledgement. So, to unpack that a little more, let's say when a resume comes in, a referral comes in, you are aware of someone's interest in coming to work for your company. I think that there needs to be acknowledgement there, at least acknowledgement, hey, we received your resume, thanks for your interest. So maybe an email that goes out, something comes back from the applicant tracking system. In my professional opinion, a decision needs to be made within a week. So if you receive a resume from HR, from a referral, from a recruiter, definitely get back to that person within a week's time. Even if the answer is no, we're not interested, that's okay. Candidates would rather hear a no than a ghost response. So then after the acknowledgement, we go to the step of letting candidates know whether or not they are being considered. So that goes back to letting them know, hey, we're moving forward with the candidates, or we're not interested at this time moving forward, or letting them know, hey, yes, we're definitely interested in moving forward with you. A lot of times candidates submit the resume of interest, apply to applicant tracking system, and it goes off into la la land. So acknowledging that you received the resume is first, and then letting them know within a week's time of whether or not they're being considered for the opportunity. Then after that, the third step would be next steps. So letting the prospective candidate know, giving them expectations of what next steps would look like. Is it going to be a phone interview? Is it going to be an on-site interview? Let them know whether or not that's going to be scheduled within X amount of time period. My professional opinion would be within a week of that. Then after that, letting them know next steps regarding scheduling interviews. Most likely, the candidate is taking off work, taking PTO to come and meet with you and your organization. So you want to make sure to give them as much notice as possible, because they're going to have to let their current employer know. And just professional courtesy is better to have as much time leeway there so that they can be professional and request off within a timely manner. And then after the interview process, the offer extension, I see a lot of times companies will interview candidates and they do want to extend an offer, but they don't communicate that to them. So my professional opinion would be to communicate to the candidate, yes, we are definitely interested in moving forward. We want to extend an offer to you. You should be receiving it within X amount of time periods. I see a lot of times candidates interview for positions, they have positive feedback, but they don't know what next steps look like from an offer standpoint. I would say if you're interested in extending an offer to a candidate, after that last and final interview, get that to them within 2 to 3 business days, absolute max. I understand sometimes, especially when you get with corporate companies or big organizations or government agencies, that there's more red tape involved, and sometimes it takes longer to get an offer to a candidate. But if possible, get it to them within 2 to 3 days, absolute max a week. Here's why. The candidates are actively interviewing with other companies. They're not just interviewing with your organization. So they're going to have, the longer that you wait, the more opportunity there is for other offers to creep in, them to decide they're not in the job market anymore. There's so many scenarios that could happen. It's just better to be fast. Be thorough in your interview process, but be fast and make it a concise process. I know we have a spring break coming up. We're entering into vacation season. Don't drag out. If you have a candidate that you're interested in, do not drag out the process due to scheduling. If possible, I'm not saying you need to be on Zoom interviewing people on your vacations, but if you could do a quick touch point, maybe Zoom in for 5-10 minutes, see if you like the person, whether or not you want to make an offer. But don't let spring break and summer vacations hold up the interview process. You will lose the candidate. And here's what happened when too much time passes. This is through any of the 5 stages: the acknowledgement, letting them know they're being considered, next steps, scheduling interviews, or the offer extension, is the candidate loses interest, or the candidate has a bad experience throughout the hiring process and no longer wants to work for your company. We have to keep in mind that the candidate experience has to be a positive one if we're going to attract top talent. So, or the worst case scenario is you get into a bidding war. The candidate's been actively interviewing, they have multiple offers on the table. That continues to drive the price up for you and your company, and it's not a good place to be. So, according to LinkedIn, the average time from start to finish with interviewing is between 19 to 27 days. I would say that's accurate. That's what I see as an executive recruiter. Once you get up to senior level, executive level positions, those go out longer, obviously. Those positions, typically are a couple months from start to finish. I would say anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks. But the average position is filled between 19 and 27 days. So if your company has a process that takes much longer than that time period, you will lose top talent. You will not be able to entertain, and keep the candidates engaged in the process because they will get other offers in the meantime. So, and then another stat is that rockstar candidates, they get offers within a 2-week period. From the time that they switch on, they're open to work, or they decide they're open to new opportunities, they start networking, and they'll have an offer on their plate within a 2-week period. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.